Dear friends of Le Salon de la Musique, tonight we are with Dinara Klinton after her amazing performance. Dinara, how are you? Thank you very much
Good.
for your amazing concert.
Oh, pleasure. Thank you very much, Francesco, for making this possible. I really hope that it was useful for people also to join a little bit and just to get drawn away from all those things happening around the world.
Yeah, I loved so much the interpretation of your Beethoven sonata is one of my favorite sonatas, and how you play was this sound was really incredible. And you made this. You were so confident playing in online recital. I didn't expect so much, passion playing in front only one in front of a camera, and you did it. It was incredible how you played. So tell us about your secret.
Well, there was no secret really. It's not new for me to play, let's say, in circumstances of broadcast or recording. I just imagined myself. Well, there were situations like when I was on BBC Radio 3 playing live in their studio, but there was just only one man who was the news presenter, like far away in that room. There was no one else, but I was playing live. So yeah, well, just I feel myself more or less like being in the recording studio, recording like a CD or something, trying to get it right, but trying to also get the flow and maybe produce the best possible sound, which hopefully would be reached
But
out to people. Yeah.
you were talking about your experience recording CDs. You made an incredible CDs with etudes by list. Here I
Okay.
have the link. So if our friends want to see it, they can see in the comment. Check in the comment. Here is the link in Amazon. This
Thank
is
you.
really, really, really a fantastic CD. And Dinara, I want to ask you a question. To be a pianist like of your level, it's really, really hard. You had to sacrifice many things in your life. Can you tell us something about your story, the difficulties about of being a concert pianist, and all the process that you had, to achieve your results?
Oh, well, the biggest difficulty I actually felt now about 2 months ago when I finally learned how to ride a bike. Because when I was a kid, not only I didn't have any toys or any tools or anything that normal kid would have an access to, unless the kid is in the poorest regions of Africa, but also I was prevented from any sort of physical activity which might give me some injury. So I had to catch up on a few things in terms of socialization, in terms of certain knowledge, in terms of I don't know, just this practical things. Because of course, when you sit down, when you're like 4 or 5 years old, when you sit down and spend 1 hour, two, three, four, five, six, and etc. hours playing this instrument, it doesn't yeah, it doesn't mean that you have time for much left. Yeah, fortunately I went to some very good schools, so that was good. Like at least at the beginning of my education I received a very good foundation of the practical subjects. However, yeah, I guess this is the main thing. This is the main difficulty. Another difficulty is that you don't really have a home. Because when I was 12, I left my home in Ukraine to study in Moscow. So I had to be staying with my mother in a rented flat. And then when I finished the school and entered the conservatory, I had to stay in the dorms there. Then I came to London, also had to stay in the dorms, in some rented rooms and all these things. So this feeling of not having a home, I think, is one of the most difficult ones, I have to confess.
But Dinara, which advice would you give to a beginner that maybe is dreaming to be a concert pianist?
Find another job. No, I'm kidding.
Fi-
I'm kidding. Well, I mean, if you're dreaming, that's not enough. If you're ready to commit, if you're ready to sacrifice, like you just have to know that it's the competition is enormous. You have to know that you either need to be the best or you're going to be somewhere in the middle, and then you will have problems. I mean, what is the best? Nobody knows what is the best, but you need to somehow make it there, up there. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for you to even make money and to understand why you are actually doing all these things, because the bills won't pay themselves. So if you really cannot live without it, and if you're ready to commit to hours of hard work every day, then go for it. Otherwise, if you just, you just dream of it, but you can only practice a little bit and you rely on your own talent, that's not going to work, sadly.
But Dinara, you in your life, for sure, you had some difficult moment that you were thinking about. Oh my God, this is so difficult. But considering the fact that now considering that you achieved this amazing level of pianism, how did you find the strength to go and to go through the problem and solve it? Because many pianists, many students of conservatories, many pianists, they are playing competition, for example, not always they win, they get depressed and they lose their will to continue to play the piano. We have an incredible example. You are an incredible pianist, and nobody actually think how difficult it is to be professional pianist of your level. Tell us about this aspect.
Oh, well, yes, of course. I have played in competitions. Some of them went well for me, some of them went less well for me. And of course, I was also depressed. Of course, I also didn't know how to continue, but I just tried to be better each time. Better than myself, first of all, not maybe better than someone else. And yeah, well, I mean, it is a lottery, the whole thing. So you need to have some gift, some ability, yeah? You need to put hours of hard work, but also you need to be lucky. You also need to be at the right place at the right time. I have to say that I was lucky in a sense, like I can't say that I was super lucky in my life, but couple of times there was a very big luck happened to me. Once it was, well, okay, apart from me meeting the very best teachers in my life, that's the ultimate luck, of course. But once also, my teacher in Kharkov, in my hometown, she prepared me for Vladimir Kranev competition when I was 8 years old, and I won the first prize there. So Kranev noticed me, and he let me play on some concerts with his students and his competition winners. That was a very big boost for me, because should it not have happened, maybe I wouldn't be so motivated. My career wouldn't have gone the way it has gone, because it was very important for me. The meeting Kranev was extremely important. Another important thing for me was then moving to London. This was a good decision, I have to say, because I needed some fresh air, just some fresh approach to things around me, not only in playing, but just to live in a different atmosphere. That was very important. It was also very important that I happened to be, just by total accident, the first recipient of Benjamin Britten Fellowship once I entered artist diploma course in RCM. So this fellowship, I think, it was to start 1 year later, but then they suddenly decided to start it earlier, and they chose me as their first recipient, and that was fantastic. And that's what allowed me to record the Liszt Transcendental Etudes on that CD that you had mentioned. So that was another luck. So there were these little things, not little, actually huge things that happened to me, and that really made it very different for me. There were also not very good things happening, of course. I wasn't like on many occasions, but as long as there are those milestones, that kept me going. Yeah.
Dinara, I want to. Here we have a question for you from our dear Alex. This is always here for us, as always. Did you go to study in Germany as well?
No, I never studied in Germany, but I did play in Germany a little bit. Yeah. I don't even speak the language, unfortunately. I really want to learn though.
This is interesting question, because in Germany there are many schools really important. There are also incredible teachers, but
Oh yeah, of course.
yeah,
Yeah.
is it written here? I know you have recorded all Chopin etudes as well.
Not all of them. I recorded Opus 10. Yeah, there is Opus 10 on my CD, which was my very first album, which I recorded when I was 16 years old, under my first, under my maiden last name, I'd say, Najafova. Yes, I recorded the 12 Chopin Etudes Opus 10. And the Opus 25 was never recorded on the CD, but I played it on concerts, of course. And once in Gewandhaus, it was a long time ago, about 11 years ago, I have done all 24 etudes in one concert, in one part of the concert. First part of the concert was Fantasiestücke by Schumann, and then in second part I did all 24.
Dinara, I want to ask you one question that is not about the music, to change a little bit about the topic. If you, because you said before about the advice to younger pianists, you said change the job. I want to ask you, if you would not be an artist, what do you think you will do in life?
I mean, now there is no way back because whatever I want to do requires a lot of hard work since someone is quite little. I mean, any sort of a science, I would say. Maybe connected with physics and stuff, yeah.
I would like to cook, for example. I like so much cooking. And
Oh, that's good for you. No, but as I said, any sort of a science, just it can be whatever, just physics. I don't know, not likely chemistry. I have to say, not likely biology. It wasn't it. Nothing connected with history because history is something. I mean, I know about that, but that's something that makes me very depressed. All those mistakes of community. So something I know, maybe rocket science, any sort of thing. Elon Musk's assistant. Why not?
Dinara, thank you very much. I know it's a little bit late, and I want to thank you so much for your amazing performance of today. Really, you made us an incredible, how to say, present. No,
Thank Russian you, no, you made this present. You made this present for all of us and for the listeners.
So, Dinara, thank you very much. For sure, we will have you again in our festival, because after the end of this festival, we'll start a new festival of Le Salon de la Musique, and for sure we will have Dinara in our artist. So, thank you very much to our friends of Le Salon de la Musique. They were listening to the performance of Dinara, and I want to introduce now to you the next artist going to play for us the next Sunday. His name is Daniele Lasta. He's an Italian pianist. He's really talented, and we will have the opportunity to know him better during this week. So thank you very much. See you the next Sunday. Ciao, Dinara.
Ciao.